1977 player, baby, come back. You're listening to Thursday's edition of your show, Music Without Borders. It's all requests, 3 hours. I've got Catherine Russell, Genesis for right now. We're in the Halloween flavor. Here you go.
Something strange in the neighborhood.
started seriously studying drums. I was probably about 12 years old, and Phil Collins is number 5. He was my always, and I'm going to stick by my 12-year-old Alec. He's my 5th favorite drummer in the world, rock drummers in the world. He's just really great. Okay, what do we got coming up here? I see Elvis, but right now, as I mentioned before, I haven't heard this title, I believe. Catherine Russell, How Deep is the Ocean? Let's check it out.
How much do I love you? I'll tell you no lie. How deep is the ocean? How high is the sky? How many times a day do I think of you? How many roses are sprinkled with dew? How far would I travel to be where you are? How far is the journey from here to a star? And if I ever lost you, how much would I cry? How deep is the ocean? How high is the sky?
This next song was recorded by Frank Sinatra, and it's called My Way. I don't know the words to it, so I'll have to read it if you don't mind. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived, life is full, I traveled each and every highway in the world. It's more than this, I did it my way. yes, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, oh, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, there was doubt. I never spit out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, no, not me. I did it my way. Oh, what is a man? What has he got? Nothing said. Maybe he has not. You said a word. He truly feels. They got the words. The record show. I took a blow. And did it my way. The record show. I took a blow. And did it my Thank you very much.
Now that was a different version that I played there just now. That was in Rapid City. I like that one better than the one. The other one I played, I think, was in Hawaii, and I think I played the not live version. That was my favorite by far. That was really, really super great. Okay, here we go. We've got Oceana. We've got Shadowati. But right now, it's the theme from Route 66. like that. The Birthday Massacre. I never heard that track before. Star Matilda. I guess I played that group maybe a couple of times, but I never remembered that they were from London, Ontario. They've been around since 1999. They're playing gigs this month. They're in Scotland. Next month, they're going to be in Manchester, Nottingham, and then coming to my country in January, Philadelphia. But that's cool. I like them. Very, very cool style. Okay, coming up here, we've got Giants. We got Pat Benatar. And right now, it's Herman's Hermits.
Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. Girls as sharp as her are something rare. But it's sad, she doesn't love me now. She's made it clear enough, it ain't no good to buy. She wants to return those things I bought her. Tell her she can keep them just the same. Things have changed, she doesn't love me now. She's made it clear enough, it ain't no good to buy. Walking about, even in a crowd, well, you'll pick her out. Makes a bloke feel so proud if she finds that I've been round to see you. Tell her that I'm well and feeling fine. Don't let on, don't say she's broke my heart. I go down on my knees, but it's no good to find. Walking about, even in a crowd, well, you pick her out. Makes a bloke feel so proud if she finds that I've been round to see you. Tell her that I'm well and feeling fine. Don't let on, don't say she's broke my heart. I go down on my knees, but it's no good to find. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. Mrs. Brown.
Star Material. The lyric is like the first version of "Sorry, Miss Jackson." Ooh, this is for real. Peter Noon and with Herman and Hermits. It's funny. With my group Dearth in London, I went through, I don't know, 4 or 5 different bass players, together with John Moss on drums. But bass players, for some reason, they didn't stick around a lot. One of them was called Peter Noon. And he was like, "I'm not the Peter Noon." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." But that song was cool and quirky. I love it.
We are young, high to high, listening. No promises, no demands. Love is family. love is a battle. Closer
Giant from Nashville, Tennessee. Never heard those guys before. One of the many reasons why I love doing this show. 1990, they scored a big hit with "I See You in My Dreams." 1990, I was in London, and that song never would have been played in England, so I never heard it on the radio. It's funny, before the internet, I mean, how else could I hear music? And certain bands, never heard that band before in my life. And then then they kind of broke up, and then they came back again in 2000. In 2000, I was also in Europe again. So I've never ever heard those guys. Really, really cool. So they're a Christian rock band from White Hart. I don't know if I've heard. I think I may have heard that name before. Very cool stuff, though. I like that. This next song, yeah, I was in London, and this guy, Trevor Horn, one of my favorite producers of all time. He did this song, "Video Killed the Radio Star." That was, everyone knows the first song on MTV. But and he's really, really a great. He produced tons of stuff. Seal. He did, "Kiss from a Rose." I mean, that's probably one of the most biggest wedding songs ever. He did that one. I like "Crazy" a lot. He also did "Yes." My story is when I was working with my group Dearth, John Moss, my drummer, right? He said, "Oh yeah, I know Trevor Horn," and I was like, "Oh, I want him to produce us." And he says, "Oh yeah, I met him. He did what was the English version of Do They Know It's Christmas Time?" That song with all the English people, and we had the other one in America. And he said, "Yeah, I was on that. I'm in the video for that one." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Him and Boy George were in the video, and with all the other English rock stars, pop stars, and stuff. And so I was like, "That's my in. I'll use you to get in." So I got the interview with Trevor Horn at his recording studio, which is in Notting Hill, where I lived. I literally could walk. It was like 3 blocks away, just off Portobello Road. And I got the interview just because I name dropped, and I got in there, and they told me that Trevor wasn't going to be there. This is kind of a disgusting story, so turn it off if you don't want to hear the story. They said Trevor won't be here today, and I was like, I said, "Oh," I says, "Well," I says, "I live around the neighborhood." I said, "When can I be back?" And they said, "Well, we don't know because his wife just died. She was accidentally shot in the eye by the son, a 12-year-old boy who had just gotten a BB gun for a present." That's disgusting. He obviously wasn't shooting at his mother, but he was shooting at a bottle or something, and it ricocheted, and she was in the backyard doing laundry or something. I don't know, and it went straight into her eye, straight into her brain. And Trevor Horn took a long break, unfortunately, so I never ever got that meeting. But it's almost worth it for that story. It's a creepy story. But he did have a comeback, and you get over things and stuff like that. But wow, I mean, think about it. You buy your kid a gun, and the gun goes and kills your wife. I can't even. But he made it through after years and years of taking a long break. But he did come back. So I'm going to dedicate this one to Trevor Horn, my favorite music producer, and he is a trooper.